Hello and welcome to Butterfly Journeys Midlife Adventures, where we share real stories of travel, transformation and new beginnings. I'm your host, Joanna Filmer, and I want you to know that midlife is our time to step beyond expectations and to use travel or even relocation as a powerful tool for rediscovery and reinvention.
Hey, soul
Let's go.
sister, I heard you made another man cry, but don't worry, baby, I'll be by your side.
Hi, welcome, Gwen. Thank you so much for agreeing to come on the podcast with me and to have a chat about what it is and your journey and where you've gone in your life. So I just want to talk about what sparked your love of travel.
I've always been crazy about traveling, but I've only been able to start traveling when I finished university and I got my first job, so I was able to afford traveling. I love being in different cultures, encounter different faces, nature, everything different. And during my traveling, I was always wondering, could I live here? Because I already knew that I would not spend my whole life in the Netherlands because I crave for adventure, space, and nature. And during my travels, obviously, there was so many beautiful places where I thought, yeah, this is it, especially Bali, for instance, in the old days when it was not packed yet with tourists. So that's it. That's sparked my love for travel.
I also spent my years traveling when I first traveled thinking exactly like you. Could I live
Yeah,
here? Is this the
yeah.
place where I could? And I would always be doing that. That's really interesting. I wonder how many other women do that when they travel. There's like this kind of like looking for somewhere that's going to fit where you want to be because you don't feel, I don't know, maybe it's that you don't quite feel like you fit or you feel comfortable where you are. Like you said, maybe more
Mm.
nature. Why do you think, what was the key driver of that then? Was it because you just didn't want to be in the Netherlands, or was it a different kind of lifestyle or environment?
No, I think I was just different. I was the
Mm.
same as a regular Dutch woman, but I always knew that I was more. I was more than just a smart girl who was able to go to college, to finish university, to get a degree in law. Because I've always done my job, but besides that, there was something else I needed to do. My
Mm.
creative part, I guess, or my intuitive part. So besides working, I organized art exhibitions in my house where I used to live. It was quite big spacious house. You know, I talked about it was a church, so excellent for to exhibit art. I needed nature a lot and a lot of space
Mm.
always
Mm.
to move around. I simply love to move around. And how exciting Netherlands is for many people. For me, it was not that because it was little and you always
Mm.
bumped into people. And I needed to, I needed to be able to move,
Yeah, the
literally.
stimulus that traveling gives you, doesn't it? You know, like being in a different environment, different language, different people, and it's
Yeah.
constant change and growth, isn't it? That's happening all the time
And
around you.
being able to just lay back, in Holland, when you're busy, running, everybody's looking at their agenda and, oh, let's see if I have, no. And I notice now in Spain, life in Spain is can be more laid back. It's just, even if you have an appointment, you just say, okay, there's something else I need to do or I want to do. You have so many things that are going on or things that happen that acquire your attention at that moment.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
That's quite a difference.
it is. So, for at the moment, so for people that are listening, where are you now then? Because you've said that you're Dutch and that you come from the Netherlands. Where are you living now? And what was that shift that made you think? Was there a moment, or was there a trip that preceded a decision to move to where you are now?
Yeah. Well, we've been on a road trip, 1996 already, my husband and I, through southern Spain. And while traveling through several regions of southern Spain, we thought, this might be truly the country where we can settle when we decide to move because of the tropical climate, because of the warm culture. Family is very important, beautiful nature, fantastic food, which is also very important for me to settle in a new country, able to get the food that I love.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways, and then we we became parents a year after. So we started our family life, had our own law firm. So it became more crazy and busy. But the fact is, we never stopped traveling,
Right.
even when we had kids. And the thought of moving never faded. So eventually, we decided to move to southern Spain. We checked out the area, and then there was this tiny little village, Frigliana it's called, near Nerja. Everybody knows Nerja, obviously, nowadays, but in those days it was quite unknown. And the guy led us through the outskirts out in the countryside, and yeah, I felt the energy, the nature. It was so untouched, it was virgin, and then we saw this spot where there was nothing, and it felt like, sitting on top of the world, huh, Harold? I said to my hubby.
I
And
love
it
that.
felt that, yeah, I could see myself and the family living our life just the way we wanted to do. So we settled in, we went to Frigliana, bought the land, built the house, and started our outdoor activity company, which we wanted to do because we wanted to reshape life from lawyer to outdoor activity specialist. And because it was a field with lots of avocado, even I did some farming. I still do farming, and I love
Big
it.
shifts, massive shifts to go from. I mean, where was the city that you were in the Netherlands?
It was in Tilburg. It's near Eindhoven, Den Bosch,
Right.
in the southern part as well. So actually, and that was really funny because part of Holland is well known as being a very warm-hearted, kind-hearted, a very cozy part of Holland because Dutchies can be very, you know, strict and cold. The lifestyle and the people in southern Spain, they really had similar um, kind of lifestyle. They like to party, and that's what
Yeah.
they say about people in southern Holland, in the south
Right.
of Holland.
Oh, okay. So there were some similarities. So I was just thinking, like, where you came from. I always like. I love the Netherlands, but it can be quite cold and it's quite damp, and so sometimes it's an indoor life because that was what I
It's
experienced in the
almost
UK.
always
Yeah. So
because
that's the huge shift, isn't it, to go from that kind of culture to the outside. So I can understand the need, you get the space and you get the nature. It's a huge shift though to make. How did your children feel about it when you spoke to them and said, look, we're moving, we're going to go from here and we're going to go to here and we're going to leave this life and the security and everything that we've got there and we've set up and we're going to go in here and live on in the campo, in the countryside. What do you reckon? What did the kids say?
excited. Yeah,
Awesome. I love
I
that.
think it was quite natural for them, I think, as well, because they were brought up with traveling. You
Right.
know, they're true globetrotters. We traveled everywhere by plane, by Land Rover, by, I don't know, little boats from Flores to Lombok, really basic traveling, but also very luxurious traveling. So for them, it was, yeah, yeah, let's do this. We want to do this. And then obviously we arrived in Spain in the little village where they had to go to this tiny school, a few foreigners, not that hip when it came to clothing and music and stuff like that, because they were 9 and 11, so it was huge. So, but we always said from the beginning, we will do this as a family, and as soon as somebody of this family wants to go back, doesn't feel happy here, we all go back. And then they say, both said, okay, but no, 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 no. We'll do this for 1 year. We're going to make effort to succeed. Well, that wasn't the word they used, but I just popped up, and they did. We just joined. We had a joint venture
Yeah, I love that.
to
I think it's
and
really
we
important, I
support.
think, as a family that you kind of spoke about it all together. You didn't just make the decision and it came from like
No,
top
and we
down.
wanted to share our lives with them in Spain and
Mm,
not doing
mm.
our thing and just, okay, oh, where are they? I don't know. Not that kind of move from one country to another country. And that happens a lot, I must say. A lot of other expat families, they tend to do so because they start a B&B, they start a new company just like us, but they're too busy. But we always said, even when we were in Holland having our law firm, we always said, okay, business is business, but family comes first. So
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it's a short time that your children are with you as well. You know, I'm just experiencing that. My son's kind of left the nest, you know, even though he's there, he's not with me. So it's an interesting shift again, isn't it, once they leave?
Yeah.
So this was what surprised you most then about that massive shift? It is a big shift for you, maybe not. And I kind of, for me, I'm just like, oh yeah, you know, from one country next. But for
Yeah.
somebody listening who might be considering it or thinking about going traveling or taking their family and relocating, it's a big decision to make. What surprised you most about making that move from one country to the other? Was it easier? Was it more difficult? Was there anything that was really unexpected? What kind of challenges and that did you face?
Well, indeed, everybody, or most of the people in Holland, they said, "My God, you're so brave." And for
Yeah.
us, it was just a natural next step. And true, it was difficult because the weather wasn't as expected because it was raining three months every day in wintertime. So the first thing we said when it was so okay, book a ticket and let's go to Holland because it's raining like cats and dogs. Never expected that to be. What I was surprised of was my energy. I was 44 when we moved to Spain, so not old, but not the youngest anymore. Decided to do outdoor activities when most of the colleagues were 28 or 30, you know? So, but probably because the hormones, changing of hormones, I felt really good. I felt really energetic. It felt like me being pregnant again,
Right.
excited, giving a new life. And it was literally like that. No, I just popped up the kids and I just popped up this life. That's how it was for me. It felt like, okay, I have it. Even though I felt really tired, climbing up the hills with the clients with the backpacks filled with food and drinks or working in the field, but I was always able to recharge, I guess, because I felt this need to move on. I just wanted to live my fantastic life.
So it kind of supercharged you almost. So unexpected, you didn't realize that that was gonna be something that was gonna give you that much kind of energy. I guess you were learning every day, doing something new every day. There was a
Yeah,
different environment every day. So that
meeting
does
new people every day.
yeah, it gives a different kind of energy it brings into your life.
Yeah.
So how do you think that so that kind of fits with the next kind of question that I wanted to ask you. How did that kind of help you to reconnect, do you think, to there a true self that you connected to, do you think? Like, had Gwen got lost along the way, do you think, through the experience of the Netherlands, or was it just a different kind of you that was growing and appeared in this new experience, this new life?
Definitely a different no, not the new, no, the next Gwen that was
Yeah,
growing.
next Gwen, yeah.
Yeah, I was growing towards the Gwen at the moment, and I got inspired and I got stimulated. I got nourished by nature, living with so many space in the field, so many tropical fruit, so many tracks to walk through with the dogs every day. Yeah, that really filled my inner soul. And some people they're very good in meditating, and I'm very bad in it. But for me, having my morning walk, for instance, is like having my meditation every day. I start with a walk at least 45 minutes, and it just happens. I
So
just
that's your
empty.
routine every day. What yeah, okay, so walk us through what is your so compared to your routine that you had in the Netherlands, what was the shift and what's the routine now? Because I think it's always interesting to compare what you went from to where you are now.
I think time, a schedule, a fitted schedule, waking up, serving breakfast, ironing the clothes just to dress up for office, taking the kids to school, having the first appointment at 9:30 because otherwise we couldn't make it.
Yeah.
There was always a traffic jam. Here we wake up. It's also still quite early, but I wake up with the sound of the birds.
So on your journey then, because we talked before a little bit, well, we talked a lot about sisterhood because we met in the Solar Sister Travel group.
Yeah.
And for listeners, we just met for the first time in Marrakesh, which was just amazing. You know, our Solar Sister Tinder date, which was hilarious. On your journey then through the transformation and move into another country and where you're at now, we also talked about the importance of sisterhood and the friends that you have around you. So how has that been for you to form that new community around you of women? And do you still have your community of women back in the Netherlands as well? How does that work for you?
Well, in Holland, not in Holland, I have a brother and two sisters, which I connect very well with. We're quite tight now. So I miss them dearly every day of my life, ever since I moved to Spain. But through all these years, 15 years I've been here, I've always met a lot of people and a lot of women. And some of these women, they grew out to become my dearest soul sisters as well, because we share the same stories, we live parallel lives, we can connect through our experience with kids. We're a mother, we've worked, we're expats. Yeah, and they got my back. We've got each other's back always.
Mm. Mm.
So this is I have a few, not many, but just knowing that they're there for me and I'm not alone in this journey, because they're almost, most of them, they're above my age. I'm almost 60 and they start from 63, 70, 75, and they're gorgeous women, full of stories and but as well full of love.
Absolutely.
And that really helped me through this feeling of missing my sisters, missing my family, missing my
Yeah.
brother, etc. So yeah, for my sisters and even my soul sisters, my new soul sisters, they're even aunties for our kids. And that's really amazing how that worked out for us.
You choose the friends that you choose and you bring into your lives, especially when you move countries and even when you travel, I think as well, you can make these amazing connections with people that you just instantly connect. It's an interesting thing, isn't it? You can meet lots of different people, but you'll meet someone and you'll just literally be bang. I had a friend who I met dragon boat paddling in Australia, and the first time we met, she hugged me, and that was it. It was just the energy was exactly the same, and she's one of my dear. She's like my sister. We call one another sis. It's
Yeah.
fascinating, how you can have those energy with women that you just connect in that way.
Yeah.
It's a real gift because, as you say, especially when you live in another country, you do make those really important friendships. You need those friendships because you
Yeah,
don't have your family around you.
exactly.
So, I mean, you're a bit of a queen of transformation as well, and I love that about you. You've done lots of different journeys, So you moved from the Netherlands to Spain and you had the company that you had, but then you have something new that's been going on. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that? Because I think it's really important for women to know that you can keep changing and transformation is always ongoing, but you can also make those shifts and travel to change. You can go on a long trip or a short trip, or you can go and move to another country and make the shift. And you might shift again, you might change country, you might change job. But where are you at now then? Because you had another big shift again as well.
Yeah, well, we had to, my husband and I, we had to stop our outdoor activity company in 2016 because of he had a heart attack, so we decided to stop.
Mm.
It was too difficult because he was a mountain biker, and well, you need to be very, very fit to do so, to guide the group. So we had to decide to continue or to we activate our law firm in Holland. So we traveled every month up and forth to meet clients, to do cases, etc. Why? Because kids they were studying, so we had to support them financially still, and they finished. They're both very independent personalities with and able to afford their life they want to live. So we stopped, and my husband also stopped recently being a lawyer again, and I already stopped 2 years ago, thinking, oh, I need to do something, right? What did I want to do? Oh yeah. Shit, that was this Chica Travel so many years ago. I wanted to start my own boutique travel agency for women only. And why? Because I noticed during these uh, years we've done outdoor activities. They book jeep tours with the family, and mostly uh, the men. They also booked a mountain bike tour or a hiking tour with us. And the women, they stayed at the villa, at the pool, taking care of the kids, and there was hardly any time for them to get some me time themselves. So I thought, hey, yeah, I should do something about it. I want to offer women me time during traveling as well, during their visit to Spain. So why not start? So, but anyways, because of the 2016 heart attack of my husband, I let that idea go. And then in 2019, just before COVID started, I already wanted to start again because I thought it was time to move and do my own thing. And then I had my tours already designed. The website was about to be launched, and then obviously COVID came, so the world stood still. Nobody was able to travel, so again it was put in the fridge until 2 years ago. I felt this feeling of I have to break out again. I have to truly do something for myself because I've been taking care of people and animals actually almost all my life. And who's taking care of me? I want to nourish myself again. And I just want to do what makes my heart sing. And that's, providing these trips for women only because I do like it. And so last year in March, I finally started Chica Travel, put it on the website, and I launched it. And through that, I met you.
Yeah, I know. It's a couple of things there. I think what you just said, it's so powerful, this move in midlife and wherever that is, because there is some discussion. I've talked to every woman that I've spoken to so far about where midlife begins and ends. I mean, I don't really think anyone wants to say, oh, I'm past midlife because what's next? But it's a time for reinvention. And I like that idea that you said you get that feeling inside. There's like this energy inside that starts of like, okay, actually, this is my time. This is what I want time for me. I want to do something for me. I've given all of my life to helping others, looking after others, and done out of love. And, there's no.
It was never a burden, but it was always a bit like, what about me?
Yeah. And so I can completely empathize with that. And I think a lot of women will empathize with that, because it is known about women that we carry a lot of responsibility. And in midlife, there is that kind of like point where we start to go, well, okay, things have loosened up around me now. I can really focus on me and what is it that I want. You get the chance to take the time to sit and think about what it is that you want. So when you stepped into that, what kind of fears did you have or doubts when you started to launch it? Did you feel any kind of like
Chica Travel or Cities on Luton?
Yeah, the Chica Travel.
The Chica. Oh, actually, no fears, no doubts, hardly any doubts. I don't know. I have fears, but it's more related to height. It's more related to drowning in the sea, no? But when it comes
You mean
to
like risk and that around people coming with you, or your own personal fears?
my own personal fears are
Right. Okay.
like heights, water, drowning, but it's all related, I think, to, I don't know, my formal life. But I overcame that because I went mountain climbing and I still do.
Yeah.
And I swam in all the oceans of the world. I did some snorkeling, almost drowned, but I did it.
Facing fears.
Yeah, I think that's for me it worked. Just do it and see how it goes. If not, then it's nothing for you. So that's how I started Chica Travel as well. Now I had no fears, I had no doubt. I was quite self-secured because I know what I want and I know how I want and I know who I want it with. Obviously, it's very hard in the end to get a business nowadays because the tools are so different to get business now. Where in the old days you had your website, you launch it, you have your Google professional, and that's it. And you have a lot of people in the surrounding that talk about you, and you get your customers from. But nowadays there's so many and so many women wanting to travel and offering as well tours for women only. And they're so skilled, and I'm so not skilled on the computer or all these techniques. And I'm now, for instance, doing for the first time this podcast, and we're talking about where should we look at the camera or or down to the face, these stupid things, but it's normal. So you get a little bit insecure, but you still, I can still say, what the heck? I have more experience than all these youngies, and I've been there, done that, and I'm
Yeah.
still doing it.
Yeah.
So, and also my mom, I recall one thing my mom said in one of the last conversations I had when I was telling her about a decision I made, and she said, it's okay. I trust you. You probably will do all the things you need to do in life. You're good. There's no wrong or right. And that actually, after thinking about what she said, that truly empowered me.
Yeah.
Truly, I feel
See,
blessed and really grateful that that was one of the last things she said to me. She
yeah.
passed that on.
Yeah. An empowering statement, because there's so many things that you talked about there, is being resilient, that you'll keep coming back no matter what, being fearless and just doing it. And I think stepping into your fears, like you talked about swimming there, or, learning something new, or, it's like snorkeling and heights. When you face your fears, you start to have more trust in yourself. So the more you push yourself into those out of your comfort zone, the more you're going to learn about yourself, and the more you're going to trust yourself if you're going to take on something new, whether it's traveling, taking on a new job, changing environments, starting a new company. These are the things, the skills that you get, and traveling does give you those skills. It gives you that kind of self-trust,
It's
to
true.
kind of, yeah, to know that actually I've got my back, I can do this, I've done that. And even like the heights, it's so funny. Some that I really pushed myself in the last year of traveling. There were things that I really didn't want to do. Like I remember going on a pagoda, like a
Mm.
pagoda, I can't think of the name.
The
Gondola,
thing
is
that
it?
goes up in the
And it
pagoda,
was
yeah?
3,000 meters in the north of Vietnam, and at one point it stopped, and I was feeling scared. I wasn't like cool with the whole thing, but when I got to the top, I was like, oh, I did it. I actually
Yeah.
did it, and everything's okay. I did it. I pushed through and I was okay. So it's really important. And I love the fact that you spoke there about that statement from your mum.
Mm.
Yeah, whatever it is, sometimes when a parent says something to you, even a partner, even a child, because my son has said things to me as well, when they
Mm.
just make a very small statement to you about the belief that they have in you, it's the biggest gift. It really
Yeah.
is the biggest gift, because they see you. I suppose that's what it is they see you for who you are.
Mm.
I
That's
love
true.
that. Okay, so what do you think then you've learned most about yourself through this whole shift that you didn't expect or surprised you from,
What
and you've
did I
been through a few
learn?
changes in the past 15 years?
Known that the unknown is not scary at all.
Yeah, I love that. Absolutely. I love that.
It's true because it actually brings you right exactly to the place you're supposed to be. I said that
Yeah.
to you as well
Yes.
in Marrakesh.
Yes. I believe that too. I believe that too. Like we were talking, I just felt like I knew I was meant to be. And I do that at the moment a lot. I'm like, what am I doing? And then I go, no, right where I'm meant to be, and I'm just
Yeah.
going to trust in myself and trust in this process, and this is where I'm meant to be. So yeah, I'm completely with you on that one. Okay, so what's one piece of advice that you'd give to a woman who's feeling like stuck or unsure about what she's going to do in her next chapter, like in relation to travel or not travel, live in another country, live in another country, change jobs, start a company? What would be your piece of advice?
I think most importantly is embrace uncertainty. Make decisions not based on fear. How do you say it? Stay to your core,
Yeah, stay true to yourself, trust your
true to
intuition,
yourself,
maybe.
and be sometimes a little bit selfish.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong
No,
with being selfish. Like we just talked about, most of your life, you're not selfish, and in fact, there's this like kind of societal pressure that you're selfish if you do something for yourself. But
mm.
why should we feel selfish for doing something for ourselves?
But why should we feel bad about being selfish?
Yeah, exactly. Why should we?
If we would be selfish continuously, that
That's
might
something
be
different.
bad. No, people would say, oh, that's a bad person because they're
Hmm,
so selfish. But once in a while, it's even very healthy to choose for yourself. It's very healthy to
absolutely.
get the balance, to recharge. It's good. It's what
It's
other
all
people do
about
as well.
balance.
So why not you?
Yeah, it's all about balance. So what's next for you then? Where are you going to next? What's your goal, do you think?
What's next? Well, I keep continuing it with Chica Travel.
Yes.
I keep stimulating women to take that leap and go on this journey, travel solo, but in a group, safe with me, to Spain and sometimes Morocco. And that's it. And I hope to become a grandma in a couple of years. My God, my kids will kill me that I said that.
Dream to have. It's a lovely dream to have. I hope that I'll get that opportunity, but I'll just wait and see what the world gives me. The universe will give me whatever it is that I need. Okay,
Yeah.
last question then. Last question for you. If you could give yourself, your younger self, at the moment she first heard that kind of like whisper of change where you talked about in your 20s, what message from where you are now would you give to that woman? That young woman who was 26, I think you said.
No, I was even 28. 26. Yeah. 26. I think I would say just do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't be
Just do it.
afraid. Just step into it.
Just do it. If I would listen to that voice earlier, I would have been traveling probably on an earlier age without even having money.
Mm.
But for
Yeah.
me, that was, as a student, you live a certain life and you always have to save.
You do need money, but I think it's important. There's something you just said there about to travel, whether or not the time's right, whether or not you've got enough money, because life is short and sometimes you just have to take the leap.
Exactly.
And I think now there's so many more opportunities. I was talking with, like with the house sitting, the dog sitting, you can go and do voluntary work in different locations, and there's so many groups on Facebook that I've noticed that even I've joined, where I've had those opportunities. There's so many different types of ways in which you can move around and take those opportunities to go and live in a different country or travel to a different country and experience something different. I agree. I think that it's just to do it and jump forward, take the leap, book the ticket, book the hotel, book the Airbnb, book the guest house, book the hostel, book the trip. Go on the tour.
No. I would say, I think I would say to myself, don't wait until midlife.
But midlife gives you the other gifts that we've talked about.
That's true. That's true.
So there's a balance in it all. I agree. There's a balance in it all. So I understand that piece of advice. But yeah, I actually think that midlife is even more freeing in a way because you've got the experience. Hopefully, you've got a little bit more money around you. You've got a bit more wisdom. And I actually think a really interesting thing that I've noticed is you get a little bit more anonymity traveling as a woman solo in this age that you didn't get when you're younger.
Yeah.
So I actually
That's a
appreciate
pretty woman walking on the street in Indonesia.
Yes.
Different attention.
I noticed it especially in India as well, and it's much easier. And I'm finding it here in Morocco as well, because you're covered up. You've got a better understanding of what it is that's going on around you. You're much more aware.
Yeah.
And, I find it a lot more comfortable actually traveling as a woman at this age. Definitely.
True.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, Gwen. Okay, right, Gwen, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your sharing your many transformative butterfly moments and journeys that you've had in your life. It's an absolute joy to talk to you, and I feel quite blessed to have met you and call you my soul sister now, my ride or die, my Thelma and Louise.
And in Spanish, I would say igualmente.
And what does that mean?
Gracias. Same, likewise.
Gracias.
No? Igualmente. Gracias a ti.
Gracias a ti. I love that.
A ti.
A ti. Oh, thank you to you. Gracias a ti.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you. You've been listening to Butterfly Journeys Midlife Adventures with me, Joanna. Until next time, may you keep awakening, emerging and evolving on your own midlife butterfly journey. Follow the podcast, hit subscribe and share it with your fellow midlife butterflies. And if you have a story to share, reach out. My emails and DMs are in the show notes. I would love to hear from you. Your journey could inspire another woman.